The Spina di Rosula talks post-disaster rebuilding. I recently visited Poisson to meet with Miss Navia, spokesperson of the Spina di Rosula. Old soil can still give birth to new bloom, Miss Navia stated. Hope is like Skyship Winglet, boon or bane of the Fonetaine Research Institute. The various disputes that have arisen on account of Mr. Edwin have suddenly become people always call the first researcher mad, but wow! Paimon barely recognizes the people in the reports. Are those really jury?
What do you think? Pretty enthralling, huh? The Steambird's idea was pretty... The value for these big scoops lies in their inevitable follow-ups. Edwin's assistant, Jurier, created a true fly...
Paimon's curious too! Wait a minute. Didn't we watch everything happen from start to finish?
And that's exactly why I'd like you to come conduct interviews with...
Are you sure?
Oh, this time will be different. Come...
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, teman-teman. Jumpa lagi dengan game Genshin Impact. Oke, kali ini kita akan melanjutkan quest Archon ya teman-teman. Ini masih yang chapter 4 bagian kelima dengan judul adalah penyamaran sang pendosa. Oke, untuk sub judulnya adalah Adegan Terakhir ya teman-teman. Ini kita harus pergi ke potion teman-teman. Oke, kita ikuti. Ini ada di bawah sini teman-teman, tinggal kita maju atau teleport ke yang di bagian bawah sini ya teman-teman. Oke, untuk potion itu sendiri adalah markas dari Spina Rosula ya teman-teman ya. Tempat tinggalnya si Navia.
Oh, it's you. What brings you all here?
Hey, we're just having a look around.
I'm here to update myself on how things are going here. Oh, the Fatui are here too.
Let me introduce you. This is Mr. Garunt Snezhevich. He represented the Knave in sending us a large amount of supplies, and is helping with our work. Our residents are hard at work as well. Thanks to everyone, work is progressing nicely. We've lost a lot of people, but we're moving forward. That will have to be enough.
Hello, Miss Charlotte. I'm a big fan of yours. I especially like that article you wrote last year about Fontaine's stray cats. But if you don't mind, could you not emphasize our role too much in your report?
I get where you're coming from. I'll keep it as simple as possible.
That would be fine.
Oh, you're back too. How are things?
We finished laying down the construction materials.
Huh? You're here too, Clorant?
Well, her reputation's greatly risen after that whole duel business with Miss Farina. So she's here in Poisson to wait out the heat. All right.
There's too much to consider in the reconstruction of Poisson. The Spina has need of more decision-maker.
Oh, wait just a moment. Do you mind me asking a few questions? You know...
Forget it. I'm sure you can find a better theme than that, Miss Charlotte.
I see you're the same as always. Couldn't you do me a favor, for Navia's sake?
Well, if we're talking about doing things for my sake, you might as well just take a few more photos of me. Or of the Traveler. It's better than wasting time persuading Clorand at any rate.
Of course I will. I'm not gonna let him off that easy. All right, then everyone who wants to be in the photo, gather up. And smile.
How did it go? Was it a good shot? Did Paimon look cute in it?
Not bad. Your addition really helped the composition of the picture. All right, hang on a moment. Let me snap a few more shots. All right, that should do it. I'll be back here later anyway, so let's call it a day.
You're very quick.
Speed is of the essence when it comes to the news, and freshness is the key. Also, not to brag, but I'm pretty good at...
Wow, you really do have.
I'll hazard a guess that this is how you got that interview at the Fortress of Meripede.
Whoa, you're well informed. Let me make a guess too. I asked Sijuin who told Monsieur Nervillet, and he told you, right?
That's a very complete information chain.
In truth, all Monsieur Neuvillette asked me was, when did the fortress become so friendly towards the media? I told him that it was best not to speak too soon. There's no guarantee that Ridsley will make a personal appearance.
You're right. I've got to treasure every moment I have with them. In which case, I'll be making a move first.
Stay safe now. And tell me if you hear anything interesting. I'll treat you to afternoon tea in exchange.
Wow, guess we're here again, huh? There's a real nostalgic feeling to this place.
Looks like you've been missing us.
Duke! Did you come all the way to the entrance to greet us?
Of course. I'm here to welcome you and our dear Miss Charlotte, whom our good head nurse recommended to me.
It's an honor to finally meet the much-rumored Duke. Thank you for consenting to my visit to the fortress, sir.
No need to thank me. But that said, I shouldn't be the focus of your interview. I trust you recall our agreement?
Of course, of course.
All right then, this way.
Hey, no need to be so nervous. I've already taken all the photos we need. Miss Charlotte, do these pictures really need to be—
It would seem that Miss Lorvine doesn't want her face to appear beside that of Mr. Jurier,
Sir, please don't say things like that.
But it looks like dear Mr. Jurier denies it. Might this interview be very important to you then?
No, I just... This is my first time.
Now, I might not look it, but I actually did meet Mr. The boat that brought about a miracle. The art... Still, if I might ask...
Huh! Looks like Charlotte's...
I have to apologize, but that ship is presently in the bowels of our factory.
Really? Well, then in that case, could I have an interview with you to make up for that loss?
You already know my answer, I'm afraid. Best you interview our head nurse instead. Or perhaps you'd like...
Did you really have to use the word couple? Well, then, two solo
Is my hair messed up? Please, someone...
Things sure are getting pretty lively here. Oh, seems like everyone's here. Would any of you like to...
Ah, Sijuin.
Hey, Miss Charlotte. Sure. Come on, Miss Sijuin. Over this way. Huh?
Sure. Do I have to smile? So, how have things been at the fortress?
Same old, as you can see. Fontaine's undergone some...
Other than that flying ship, I got it.
That's why I decided to let the interview go through. We should direct more public opinions toward the behind-the-scenes heroes. Am I right, Mr. Jurier? Miss Lorvine?
You're too kind, sir. I believe that you too should have your day in the sun.
I'll just leave the spot. I see. Lots of things happen that...
He sure did win them over, huh?
I'll tell them that there's good news and bad news. The good being that they're...
Oh, actually, what about you? Are things gonna change for you too?
What change can there be? The fortress will keep chugging along, and so will my duties. As to what Miss Farina's departure will mean for the nation, and if our laws and governance will be transformed, we'll leave those to the folks in the overworld.
Hey, everyone. The photo shoot's done.
Good. In that case, let's call it a day here.
Thanks for your cooperation. Come on, Traveler, let's go.
There'll be a next.
Maybe. Who knows? I might write a story about the underwater factory next time. All right, last stop, the docks. Navia mentioned that she stayed in touch with Linny and the others after working together. Apparently, they've been at the docks distributing these strange pockets the whole time since.
Traveler, Paimon. Ah, and Miss Charlotte, too.
Would you like a magic pocket? What sort of gadget is it? It's a wondrous bag that can be used to carry many things. The water level has returned to normal, but if you see any of your things floating around, you can use this to carry them. Or you could trick a friend into doing it for you. Trick a friend? I wonder which of my friends would fall for that. You could just make a friend like Fremine here. Isn't that right, Fremine?
Is this what you meant by...
To be honest, that sounds pretty sweet. Could I have your contact?
Lynette sure is working hard to help Fremine socialize.
He was the one who proposed doing this. He even wants to assist in our match.
Yes, I was planning to first introduce Pear as an assistant, and later
That said, would anyone want to see a diver escape underwater?
Oh, it'll work out.
Lynette, could you come over? Miss Charlotte says she wants to take a picture of us.
Got it.
My, that Charlotte is rather perceptive. She got rid of everyone the moment she realized. Father says that you did a great deal during the latest events. She's very grateful for your contributions to Fonetaine.
That's all right. We were more than happy to help. So, what's she doing now?
Oh, I guess you haven't heard. Well... After Lady Farina left, Father and Monsieur Neuvillette opened negotiations, during which he gave Fontaine's gnosis to her as a diplomatic gift.
A diplomatic gift? A gnosis?
Yes, I was quite surprised at first myself. It could have been done as an apology for the incident with Lord Child, or as... Furthermore, Father did also let...
Well, that's true, but this is a gnosis we're talking about. Doesn't this seem a bit... irresponsible?
I would agree, but I've also heard that... It seems that Monsieur Neuvillette has had a significant change of heart regarding the matter.
So there's some reason for this.
I suspect you'll have to ask him about that yourself. Ah, yes, speaking of which, I did see him strolling around the entrance to the Fortress of Meripede a while back.
Isn't he real busy and stuff? Paimon didn't think he'd have the time for that. But back to the topic. The Gnosis was given to the knave, right? What about Child?
They say that he's returned to Snezhnaya to recover from his wounds. I hear that the recent disaster really did
That's true. When you think about it, we've had loads of run-ins with the Fatui. To think we'd be allied with them this time.
So shocked by such a simple switching of sides?
Father!
Well, what do you know? Come to the docks to see how my children are doing and meet the Traveler by chance. Please do not pay my accomplishments in Fontaine too much mind. I would have done them regardless.
Are you going to take the Gnosis back to Snezhnaya?
That is our duty as Harbingers, yes. Don't be too preoccupied with sides. The goal of the Fatui concerns not a single place or person, but the entire world. With switching my masks is something I've always done. Well, that depends on many things. No one truly knows what the future holds. What good is honesty if you can't? As for you, I very much look forward to our next collaboration. Good things cannot be achieved alone, and you've proved yourselves to be great partners. A vision? All right.
And that's a wrap for me. Huh? You're...
Greetings, Miss Journalist.
Hello. If I'm not mistaken, there are diplomatic channels I'll need to report to take a photo of you.
That is correct. So forgive me, but I will not be able to serve as a subject in your article. However, feel free to write as much as you'd like about our dear magicians, and
I will.
The sea breeze is quite pleasant.
Farewell, Father.
Oh, she has such an intimidating presence. I didn't even dare to take a picture. Thankfully, I've already wrapped up all my pre-scheduled...
Don't be too nervous. Why don't you take a magic pocket before you go? Here, Traveler, Paimon, you take one too.
To move things about?
That's right. Funny. I was giving out magic pockets when we first... I guess this must be life. We will all follow... All right then. We'll be...
Well, guess we sent Charlotte off. Shall we go see how Neuvillette's doing? Let's go. The entrance to the fortress! Ooh, he really is there! you were going to have free time this hour of the day.
Really? Oh, I suppose you must have met Mr. Linney. He took the time to greet me earlier when he passed this way. In any case, you came at a good time. I was just considering reaching out to you to set up a meeting, so I may explain some things that I haven't had the time to before.
Aw, Paimon's glad that you remembered. Thank you for keeping us on your mind, what with you being busy and all. Alright, let's have it then. How was Fontaine actually saved? The whole business is still quite the mystery to us.
It is strange how words can often leave a bitter taste in the mouth when it finally comes time to say them out loud.
Whoa. So that's what happened? Focalor destroyed the divine throne of the Hydro Archon and restored your power to you, transforming you into a fully fledged elemental dragon sovereign. But Paimon still doesn't quite get what you did to save the Fontainians from dissolving.
For me, the authority of the ancient dragons refers to absolute control over the hydro element. Fontainians were incomplete humans born of Egeria's use of the power of the primordial sea, with constitutions similar to that of mimics. But so long as those primordial energies remain within them, I could use the ancient dragon's authority to grant them true blood, after the fashion in which life was first brought into being on this planet. In other words, when I gave my verdict, Fontainians became true humans, and thus would naturally no longer be dissolved by water from the primordial sea.
Focalor must have counted on you to make that decision as well. Your verdict was the key to making the prophecy appear to have come true, while... Yeah! And in a manner of speaking, Focalor finally managed to fulfill the original Hydro Archon's wish to turn Oceanids into real people too!
It seems from your expressions that you still have more things you wish to ask. Ask away. I will tell you the truth as I know it. I have investigated his case along many avenues, and I have learned that he once fell into an unknown chasm when he was young. There, by chance, he awakened the all-devouring narwhal. But whether it be by sentiment or reason, that should not have been enough to consider him the root cause of the disaster. At most, he would have had tangential liability. As for the judgment passed by the Oratrice during the trial, whether it was due to that liability by association, or Focalor deliberately using him to buy time for us on the assumption that he would be able to hold the creature off, I cannot say.
Guess Focalor had Fontainians in mind the whole time. In the end, it was thanks to her that they finally became real humans. Hang on a second. Paimon suddenly got another question. Back when Fontainians hadn't yet become real humans, were the children they had also transformed Oceanids?
Life has always flowed like water. Do you recall how Fontainians would often come to the Fountain of Lucine to pray for children?
Yeah, Lynette said the fountain is where all the waters in Fontaine converge.
In truth, even those couples did not know that such prayers were no mere custom, but instead a form of ritual. Those Oceanids who were blessed within the spring water would later descend...
Paimon sorta gets it.
Ask away. I will tell you the truth as I know it.
Yeah, about that. Risley said Farina has already left. What's that all about?
Ah, Lady Farina. The people are only aware that her death sentence has not been carried out. I related Focalor's words to her faithful. She simply said that she was tired. Having said that, she then packed her things and...
But she's still...
You need not worry. I will make arrangements. In truth, I am somewhat happy for her. The wear and tear on her spirit will... But now that she no longer has to play the role of Focalor the Hydro Archon, she can finally...
What about you then? What are your plans?
After Focalor passed on, the Oratrice also ceased to function. This matter will directly affect our trials. After much...
Looks like you're still considering stuff from...
As an elemental dragon, there are indeed many things that I must. As such, before I attend to my other responsibilities, I must first and foremost continue to serve Fontaine as it. Additionally, the Hydro Archon's departure has brought about another problem, which is that the.
That's true. That power was derived from the people's faith in the Hydro Archon, wasn't it? Wait, but the various mechs and machines in the city are all still okay. Where are they getting their energy from?
As I am now, I have full command over New Musia, and it can serve as a complete substitute. Another reason why I cannot quite leave Fontaine immediately.
Wow. This ancient dragon's authority stuff is really quite useful, huh?
Ask away. I will tell you the truth as I know it.
Oh, that's right! They say you've given it to the knave as a diplomatic gift or something!
Leaving aside their intentionality, the two Fatui Harbingers have indeed done much for us during this crisis. Their sole remaining goal in Fontaine, at least at this point, would seem to be the Gnos. The Oratrice has ceased to function. The Hydro Archon's divine throne is now no more. As such, it has lost all meaning for Fontaine. If the Fatui have impure design...
what complicated
Ask away. I will tell you the truth as I know it. You will soon be heading to Natlan, I presume. I'm afraid that I have little talent as a travel guide. As far as I'm aware, Natlan can be said...
A nation of dragons?
No, I suspect that I would not find myself well. Unlike ancient dragons such as my... Natlan is also the nation of war. There is one other piece of information I got incidentally from my negotiations with the knave, the Harbinger known as the Captain.
The Captain? Sounds like a
I suggest that you fully prepare yourself. Ask away. I will tell you the truth as I know it.
Hang on a sec. Paimon, when we spoke to Linny earlier, we guessed that there might be some reason for it that only...
No wonder the House of the Hearth is... So regarding this specific issue, in truth, I exchanged some further words with that lady named Skirk after sending you two back to the surface. It went something like this.
Well, we're going to head topside to see what's going on. Whoa!
What next?
The all-devouring narwhal isn't here, so I'm no longer getting any interference. I can finally catch the scent of your power, what it's made of. It is the authority of the planet's primordial dragons, but with something very similar to a god's curse mixed in. I'm sure I've encountered something like this before.
I do not know what you speak of.
Of course. How could I forget? You should have the remains of the third descender on your person, yes?
Remains? I've never...
According to your parlance...
Well, that much is true. After Focalor's divinity faded, she handed her note, but I fear I have never heard of it described in the manner that you just...
I've been training with my master, the Foul, ever since I was young, and I have never returned to the surface. It is only natural for those who are greater than humanity to possess... Regardless, you should probably get rid of objects of misfortune. To prevent any... To live in itself is a blessing. But once a...
What do you mean by that?
No need to fret. These are just my...
This third descender you refer to.
Master never mentioned... If you're interested, though, I could ask him.
Next time, you believe...
I do. Wait. I have a disciple of mine...
That's what she told me. Whether it would prove useful or not...
The remains of... So that's what the Gnosis actually are. Paimon just thought they looked like chess pieces. How could they be...
All the same, assuming that there was no misunderstanding or...
And she said that it would bring misfortune and that you should check it, which is why you gave it to the...
If she speaks the truth, then I would simply be putting Fontaine at unnecessary... I had guessed that you might already be familiar with this concept, but I did not expect you to be one of them. That means that the Gnosis, which are exceedingly element compatible and can even enhance elemental ability. I wonder, does...
Like being able to use elemental powers without a vision! No, let's not think about this stuff comparing the Traveler to the dead Third Descender and all. That's what you say, but this topic still feels like... Once child recovers, let's...
I too believe it unwise to make too many blind guesses when information is lacking. The same is true of being at court.
Alright. Whatever the case, it seems like...
Yes. All of Fos...
But... she sacrificed herself in the end.
I suppose that would be the mystery of a god's will. I suspect not. But once in a while, I too would guess that if wishes were like the clouds, life flows like water. And what ultimately